new background, weird lighting from the sun, zigzags or chevrons, and other household items behind me. But anyway, today, here to talk about hygiene instruments. So I saw in a post, I don't know if it was Kara RDH's Facebook page or Andy RDH's Facebook page. But anyway, someone was talking about what is in your hygiene bag. What instruments do you use? What instruments are your go-to instruments? So I thought it was kind of a neat discussion because all of us have our favorites, things that we use, things that we go to, things that we always are a staple for us. So anyway, quick video. I just want to say things that are in my bag, things that I like personally. Before I start here, first of all, everything is sterilized. Everything is clean. I brought more sterilization bags, so they're going right back in, and first thing tomorrow morning, they're going right back in the autoclave, and they will be clean before they touch anyone's teeth. So don't be commenting and freaking out and going, oh my gosh, yeah! Everything is clean, clean. Anyway, so this one, first off, I only bought one of these from Hue Free. It is a Hue Free Ever Edge. The rep. So I saw this at an Anna Pattison CE thing. She came into town and there was a Hue Free rep in the back, and she had this big table full of stuff. And Anna had mentioned her. I went over and looked around, and I briefly saw this instrument, and it caught my eye because of how teeny tiny the ends are. And so when I contacted the rep came to the office, I was talking to her, and I was like, look, I can't find this instrument. I don't know what it's called. And she goes, oh, our shmooey. And I was like, shmooey? Oh, yeah. So anyway, the reason being is because this is the number. I don't know if you guys can pick that up and see that. Okay, that's the number. That's the wonderful instrument for the lower anteriors. Subgingivally to go just a little under. I love it. I don't use it on everybody, but like a little crowding or things like that. Sometimes your H5 or your 6-7 just can't get in there. I mean, sometimes if it's been sharpened down enough, it can, but I really think this is a good thing, not to have in your everyday bag or cassette to open up for instruments, but to have, I always have a few instruments in my office that I have like one or two of, and I'm struggling with a patient, I'm like, oh, I need to go grab this, and then I have an autoclave bag nearby and just grab that. So anyway, show you real quick, teeny tiny shmooey. Love it. Okay, so move on. So anyway, everyday bag. You guys like my Buckeye beads? First day Buckeye beads. I'm a Buckeye fan. I think it's a requirement when you live in Ohio. But little confession, I didn't watch a single game last season, the winning season. I didn't have time. I'm a mom. I have two itty bitty boys. And I work full time. Who has time? Anyway, but I'm still a fan. Everybody's wearing red today. It's the first game of the year, and it's like, red is a requirement if you live in Ohio. So anyway, first off, this one's not Ever Edge. Ever since I bought these, bought a handful when I first started working at the practice I'm at, and then now everything I have is Ever Edge just because I like Ever Edge. It holds it, after you sharpen it, it holds the edge better, stays sharper longer. It really is what it claims. This is my one instrument, yeah. So H5 33. This is my one I prefer. I personally prefer this over a 6-7. These are the ends. One's a jacket end, one is your sickle end. I prefer this because, I don't know, most hygienists love a 6-7. I kind of think it's overrated. I was talking to the other hygienist that works at my office. She said the same thing. She feels that it's kind of overrated. I don't know, like, whatever. This is the PDT instrument of Jack B. Nimble. It is the tiny version of the Montana Jack. So here is the end here. I like it, but I prefer a Montana Jack. I do. I don't hate this, so I keep it. I will use it until, it's done with and it goes to the instrument graveyard or whatever, recycling. I do recycle. But yeah, I just kind of prefer a Montana Jack. I don't know if it's the tiny curvature, what the deal is. I don't know. I prefer a Montana Jack. So, and speaking of Montana Jack, so I was one day, I had a handful of Montana Jacks I was using those, and one day, and I also threw in Byron that program that Hugh Freedy has when you recycle instruments. I got some Navy 4s, and I was trying the Navy 4s. I'll show you some Navy 4s here in a second. And I was like, man, these are really similar. These are really similar. And then I saw in some discussion groups online how all these hygienists were like, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, Hugh Freedy made that as an answer to a Montana Jack. Like, that's their competing thing. And I'm like, like, okay. So anyway, this is another interior scaler. This is the Navy 1, I believe. Yes, I believe so. With the H5. So anyway, what makes this so darn unique and special is this little spoon. And this little spoon is fabulous for anterior stain and like those kind of cupped out or scooped out areas where stain gets in for maxillary and mandibular both. That's wonderful. And of course your regular sickle scaler on the end. Love it, love it, love it. This is another instrument that you can also get in the environment thing when you recycle. So that's why I have several of them. The other hygienist likes them as well. That's in there. Another one, this is not the best example because it's like an older one, but it is a Younger Good 7/8. So I was introduced to this when I worked, not in school. I've been a hygienist for 8 years, just in case you were like wondering, how long have you been doing this? I wasn't introduced to this in school. I was introduced to this when I used to work at another office, and the other hygienist, that was one of the ones she used all the time, was a Younger Good. So I really, really like it. I like it for linguals, like flat linguals, flat buckles. Sometimes I'll use it around the curvature or the back of a distal, like a distal buckle line. So anyway, this is what it looks like. And I know for a lot of you, I mean, you may be rolling your eyes and you're like, oh, whatever, I've seen this, I know this. But you know, I mean, some of you may not, or some of you may be students and your school's only introduced you to a handful of things and you're like, hey, Ashley, what else is out there? So anyway. Oh, well, you can see that. The sun's kind of picking up kind of weird, so I apologize. Anyway, so Younger Good. Younger Good is a have to. Ever since I started using that, have to. Explorer. Shepherd's Hook. Number 23. Caries detection. I always check too. I always write down a few ahead of time. I never tell a patient, because legally you're not allowed to, never tell a patient they have a cavity. But I do jot down a few on a piece of paper just so the doctor, when she comes in, can glance over and see and kind of double check ones that I find suspicious. This is the probe that I used in school. I don't know how well you can see that. It is a Williams probe with the 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why they skip 4 and 6, I don't know. No love for 4 and 6, I guess. But anyway, this is the one I learned on. I know that there are tons of other probe markings out there. That's what I learned on. That's what I'm used to. I feel like I'm most accurate with that. I have used other ones. I'm not a big fan of other ones. I kind of feel like I can still do a good job. If you guys hear some noise, forgive me. My husband's working on our house, and so making the most of our wonderful, glorious Labor Day. Mirror, don't really need to go into much about a mirror. If you want me to do another tutorial or another video about mirrors, you can comment down below and I would be happy to do that. Although, funny note, like my office when I started working there 2 years ago has a mirror like yay big. I find that hilarious. But anyway, oh, another one. So this, I used to use a 204S. I don't know, I apologize. I do have a 204S here to compare. So let me open up my other bag. I have another 204S. I want to compare because I don't use 204Ss anymore. That was what I learned on in school. Don't use those anymore. Don't like them anymore. So I use a Navy 2. Yes, Navy 2, posterior Navy. It is a lot longer. It is a lot skinnier. I feel like it does a better job getting posterior in the posterior ears. So on the top, I'm trying to put these so it's a good, fair comparison here. So the bottom is the Navy. The top is the 204S. Let me turn those all Vanna White style for you. She turns the letters, right? That's the check, I think. Forgive me if the lighting is bad. I don't know. Top is the 204S. You can see, so this is this is a lot shorter. This is a lot longer. It's a lot skinnier than Navy is. It can get in posterior a lot better. So I like the Navies. My battery's going, I gotta hurry. Anyway, Explorer, I always use the 1112 Explorer. Sometimes I use an extended shank, but mostly extended shanks for whenever I do scaling patients and things like that. So Anyway, that was a quick tutorial. Oh, before my thing totally dies, here's a Montana Jack. Regular Montana Jack. So it's kind of like a younger good, but with a point on the end. I kind of find them very similar. Use them for similar areas, buckles, lingles, things like that. So anyway, questions, comments, be nice. Everybody be nice. Open discussions, welcome those. Please comment down below the video or in my post when I put it on Facebook. Feel free to share. Love to share. Hopefully I'll have more hygiene ones very soon. Other things like that. Have a wonderful, beautiful Labor Day. Love you all. Bye.